You ready?
Yep.
Ready. Is it a bit cold? Are you a bit cold or are you alright?
Keep us awake.
Hello and welcome to the Ravishing Podcast. We're talking through Jilly Cooper's Rupert Chronicles in order, one section at a time. We'll discuss the chaos, the drama, the sex and everything else that gets thrown in along the way. Just to clarify, we're not professionals or journalists. We just love the books, the Rupture world Jilly has created and love talking about them. You may already know the books well, you may never have read them and only heard about Jilly Cooper through the recent fabulous Rivals TV series on Disney+. Everyone is welcome here. I'm Lib, I'm relatively new to these books, and my mum Jan has known them for years.
For those newcomers who've only seen the new TV show, Riders is the first in the 11-book series and when we first meet Rupert Campbell Black. Rivals is the second book and we'll be moving on to that one soon. Each episode we'll talk through some of the key things that happen in the books, refreshing your mind for those who've read them. We'll also let you know which chapters we'll be covering so you can read the books alongside for the full experience. If you don't, you'll be missing out on all of Jilly's humour, storytelling and juicy details. We're here to analyse, or maybe overanalyse, with opinions, tangents and probably a lot of judgment, because these books deserve to be talked about. There will be swearing and there will be mentions of sex because this is Jilly Cooper and if we had to cut out the rude bits there'd be nothing left to talk about. Before we get into it, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's a very sad day again because we've no wine, we've no gin.
No.
We're on tea today.
But it's very nice tea.
Tea is lovely and it is early. It is morning still, so tea is probably appropriate. What are you on today?
I'm on my favourite Pucker Peace.
What's in that one? Is it... One of them's got fennel in and I don't like that. Is that the one with fennel?
I can't remember.
Okay.
There's Peace and Relax, I think.
Peace feels like it would have chamomile and lavender and
stuff.
stuff.
Probably has.
Can I smell it?
Yeah, it's very nice.
It smells minty.
No, it's definitely not minty.
It smells like mint tea.
It might be because I didn't clean the cup out from the last.
It might be because I drank mint tea in that yesterday.
Oh no.
There we go, that's it.
Rumbled.
Cracked the case. And I'm drinking ginger and turmeric tea, but I've put a slice of lemon in it as well because I like a bit of lemon.
Yeah, it's very zingy.
In a ginger tea. But it is zingy, but it's good for my throat with all this talking that we're doing.
Good.
Honestly, I've spent the whole weekend just yapping away.
Nothing wrong with that.
Right, so let's go. A little recap of last time. If you remember, we got to know Rupert a little better. We learned a little bit about his childhood. We started to understand his character a little bit more. And Helen got to know him better as well. And she likes what she sees. And we're not sure that they're necessarily right for each other, but we do know that they want each other. That much is clear so far. So, Helen has dipped her toe in the water of the show jumping world, watching Rupert compete for the first time at the Crittenden show. Now, it's time for the real test, her first show jumping party.
Ooh.
So, the competition's over, and they're kind of rounding it off with a big party for all of the show jumpers, the grooms, the groupies, everybody, at Lady Grania Pringle's. Is that how you would pronounce
Lady
it?
Grania Pringle, yes. One of Rupert's dalliances.
Yes, so we're agreed on the pronunciation of this one. That's good. So she's an old flame, or maybe a current flame.
I think any time they like
I
flame,
think they're all current flames, really, aren't they? It's been raining. So the ground is quite muddy, and as Helen, Rupert and Billy are on their way to the party and they've all had a few drinks beforehand,
feeling giddy.
They're all walking arm in arm feeling giddy, and Rupert and Billy are on either side of Helen and they've got their arms linked, and every time there's a big puddle they just pick her up and lift her over it.
That's quite sweet.
It is quite sweet, and for me it's just kind of like, it just reminds me that they are all just like young, having fun, they're about to go to a party because they're all in their early 20s at this point, aren't they? And they're just three people on top of the world having a good time, and I think you forget that with all the drama that happens all the time.
Yeah, well, I think two of them are definitely having a great time.
Oh, you don't think Helen's having a very good time?
Because Rupert and Billy, obviously they're laughing, they're having a joke, they're telling funny stories about Nanny's knickers, and Helen tried to laugh along so as not to be a spoil sport.
Oh, you see, I thought she was having a good time. Do you think she's kind of like...
Jilly actually says she tried to, so she's starting to irritate me now.
Yeah, she's starting to get on your nerves. She's just not the same. Like, she doesn't fit in.
She's not relaxed enough, is she?
She's not relaxed.
Yet.
That's the
maybe
key
she
word.
will. Maybe she will.
So for a moment, it all feels light and fun, but it isn't. This party, there's a lot of drama that happens at this party. So when they get there, Rupert introduces Helen to Grania, the hostess, and says she's an intellectual type and needs somebody who won't bore her senseless with all the horse talk. So
of which there's a lot.
Rupert's taken her to this party and he already knows she's probably not going to get on with everybody.
Yeah.
So Billy's run off to find Lavinia Greenslade, who is... Have we talked about this before?
We might have mentioned her at that first show
Yeah,
that Jake
so
was
Lavinia
at.
competes at Jake's first show, all the way in chapter 1, in episode 1. So she's kind of part of the show jumping world that Rupert and Billy are part of, and her and Billy have a little thing going on, but she has very protective parents.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing. And Rupert is all of a sudden, naturally, the centre of the room. He's the life of the party. Everyone's flocking around him. So Billy's off. Rupert's got just an orbit of girls, and Helen's on her own.
Yeah.
Instantly, and she is miserable. She's watching Rupert being hemmed in by all these women, and she wishes that she could be chatted up by someone to make him jealous.
Yeah.
She doesn't know that he is actively trying to make her jealous. But the only person who's really showing any interest in her and talking to her and chatting her up is this massive lesbian called Monica Carlton, who's, I think, a breeder or one of the show jumpers.
She's involved in that. Well, she's always around,
yeah,
isn't she?
She's
but,
always around.
I mean, Jilly describes her as a big fat lesbian. But although knowing Jilly, when she says someone's fat,
well,
they're probably
that
not
fat.
But I love the way she describes Monica Carlton. She says she turns up at the party in a hairnet, a flannel nightgown and slippers. Apparently always comes to parties like that so she can get plastered and then just crash out in her caravan. She's all ready
I should
for bed.
start doing that. This is genius.
I love that.
Do you know, I saw a video and it was like, I won't wear anything that's not comfortable enough to sleep in.
Oh, I like that.
And that's kind
that
of,
could be my mantra.
That's kind of how I live my life. Like, I'm not going to wear, I don't ever wear jeans. I hate denim because it's too rough and restrictive. I don't like it. All my clothes, like right now what I'm wearing, I would go out to a fancy dinner in this and I would go to bed in it.
Maybe not quite fancy dinner.
I would go out to a regular dinner wearing this. I would go out and about in this and I would sleep in this as well.
Yeah, I know what you mean about comfort. I mean, I wear jeans. I'm quite happy doing that. But, you know, they do stretchy jeans now.
People who can sit on the sofa and watch telly in jeans, for me, they've got something wrong with them.
Oh, no. As soon as you get in the house, you get your comfies on.
The second I'm through the door, Cam hasn't even got his shoes off and I've taken my makeup off and changed.
But, I mean, I do, generally, comfy clothes are nice. I mean, you know, I always say, I don't do fitted, I don't do tucked in. Anything other than that is fine.
Just loose, comfy. Yeah. Back to the story.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yes, we were doing that. Yeah.
So Helen, she's kind of trying to make conversation with the other show jumpers, but she's not really enjoying it. She can't really relate. She can't get involved in this conversation. All they're talking about is just horses. She doesn't understand it. And they're kind of trying to welcome her into the group and like just jokingly tease her, just like have a laugh. And I think this may be like a British versus American thing as well. Like, she's American and British people love to like have a joke and kind of just like lovingly take the piss out of each other.
Yeah, if they tease you, you know they like you.
Yeah, but she's not reading it like that. She doesn't realise that they are accepting her, which again just tells you she doesn't really belong there, does she?
No, she's uncomfortable, isn't she?
And do you think that this just proves, again, how her and Rupert are incompatible?
Well, she's not exactly trying very hard at first, is she? I mean, it must be daunting to be thrown into a party like that where she knows nobody except Billy, who's gone to find
She's
Lavinia.
been left on her own. It's hard.
And then again, you see Rupert does abandon her straight away to talk about a horse that he wants to buy, obviously. So you can kind of have a bit of sympathy to a point. It's my favourite phrase about Helen. To a point. Yeah, I do. I mean, it's a difficult situation, isn't it? But at the same time, you're at a party, you know, get involved. Yeah, have a drink. Yeah. Just have a chat with people.
Yeah. So everything's it's going all right. The party's trotting along. Helen's not having a great time, but she's okay. And then she sees Grania Pringle. I laugh every time I read that name. Chatting away to Rupert, and her hand is on Rupert's thigh. And that's it for Helen. She storms out of the room, but Rupert's obviously, he's got one eye on her, clearly.
Yeah, because this is his mission.
Because he follows her.
Yeah, he wants to see what effect it's having on her because he wants to make her jealous. Yeah.
And it's had a big effect on her. You know, he's followed her out of the room after she stormed off, and she starts having a go at him. She's like, oh, you're being pulled in all these directions, you belong to everybody, like, I just want you to myself. And then obviously that was his plan, and it's worked perfectly. He's made her jealous, and he hasn't really even had to do anything. So they're out in the hallway and they're arguing, but then all of a sudden they're kissing, and it's like, whoa, how did that happen? But she pulls away and she's like, no, I am not that kind of girl.
Yeah, I mean, on the one hand, you can understand that a bit. I mean, she was mistreated really badly by Professor Mountjoy, and she doesn't want to be messed around by Rupert, because she can see obviously that there's real potential there for him to mess her about.
Yeah,
kind of understand.
And it would ruin this whole thing she's got going, like the playing hard to get thing, that she's not doing especially well, but kind of well. It's now Rupert's turn to lose his temper, and Helen's not having any of it. She runs off, but she came to the show in a taxi. She's got nowhere to stay. She's got nowhere to go.
That through.
Nowhere to go home, so she just locks herself in the toilet. Is this romantic tension between the two of them, or is it just like clearly they're not right for each other? I mean, there's definitely a lot of passion, but is it the right kind of passion for a relationship?
Yeah, I mean, they're testing each other's boundaries at the minute, aren't they? They're trying to understand each other, how far they can go, what makes each other tick. I don't think it's calculated on Helen's part, but she wants what she wants from Rupert, but she feels that what she's getting is another Professor Mountjoy. And I feel like there's... her problem is she wants 100% of Rupert.
Yeah.
100% of his attention. And with the best will in the world, she is never going to get that.
Never. No one could.
No.
So Helen's escaped to the toilet, and she sits in there for a little while, but she doesn't really know what to do. And then she manages to get out of the toilet and finds the library. Perfect place for her to be, really. And she's like, yes, I can be alone. I can figure out what the hell I'm going to do. But she's not alone in there, because there's somebody else in there. Now, who from this show jumping world that we've met so far do you think would be in the library during a party?
In a wingback chair by the fire, keeping out of everybody's way. Malise!
It's Malise! And they click straight away. They are, they're on the same wavelength. They both want to talk about intellectual things. I've put here, they're the same. Intellectual, measured, self-aware, slightly insufferable.
Why? I couldn't... Yes, Helen, but why for Malise?
He gets on my nerves a little bit. But also, we've said this before, because I just agree with whatever Rupert thinks.
Oh, right, okay.
And because there's tension between him and Rupert, I'm like, nah, Boo sucks to Malise. Don't like him.
Yeah, but he's got a team to run. He's got championships to win.
Yeah.
So obviously there'll be tension with Rupert a little bit.
Yeah. So how do we feel about Malise and Helen? What are we thinking in this moment about the two of them? Obviously, he's the only person she has actually been able to have a conversation with out of anyone who's part of the show jumping world that she's met so far. He's the only person she can have a conversation with.
And not a conversation about horses.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Malise. Again, he's portrayed as an older man. He's 52, not very old, but she's like what, 25 or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's interesting. I like him. He's educated. He's well read. He loves art, but he's also thoroughly involved in the horse world.
Yeah.
So he's got a lot of things to talk about. They've got a real connection, and I think he's definitely more suited to Helen. But he thinks that she's adorably pompous. I think Jilly said about him, but I just think she's a bit irritating.
You can see from his perspective, adorably pompous is probably right. Because it's like, it's not 100% nice, but it's not mean either. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I quite like that description of her.
Yeah, it's like, I know what she is, but I like it.
Yeah.
So Malise offers to drive Helen back to London. And he also gives her a little bit of advice. He's telling her kind of how to relate. Because does he want to help her understand Rupert and help her fit in?
I suppose he can see that she might be a good influence on Rupert.
He's definitely, throughout the books, he gives kind of very wise advice to people all the time, doesn't he?
Well, that's his job, though, isn't it?
Well,
he wants to achieve the best for the country.
Yeah, so he tells her, look, these men, they're not academic people, they didn't thrive in school, and for a lot of them, not Rupert, but for some of them, show jumping is their way to kind of make it big, because they can't do it in any other way. Maybe they've come from small towns, average families, and this is kind of their step up, and it's brutal, it's a tough world, and you have to constantly win, you have to constantly keep going at it, and he's trying to help her understand why these people are the way they are and why they're so obsessed with horses.
Exactly, and they distrust anyone well educated because it makes them feel more inadequate. Yeah. So it definitely helps us to understand that world a bit more as well.
Yeah, definitely. So Melise has offered her a lift back to London and given her this advice, and then Rupert appears, and he is not happy to see the two of them talking, and he's even less happy when he finds out that Melise is like, yeah, I'm going to take Helen back to London. So
not in that kind of way.
Not in that kind of way.
No.
And clearly this isn't the first time that they've disagreed over something, and they kind of circle each other a little bit, but they don't really have it out because Helen's there. And then Helen decides after all this, and Rupert's been like, oh, not go, you're staying with me, and he's like, oh, I'm going to take her. She eventually is like, right, I'm leaving with Melise, this is over, this is done. Round 1 to Melise. And on the way out, when she's getting her coat,
another throwaway Jilly thing.
This is the kind of party, you know, you've got a guest bedroom and everybody's coats just get chucked on the guest bed. So
We've all seen that.
So she's trying to get her coat, but she can't because there's somebody in the way. And it's Billy and Lavinia on the guest bed.
Oh, bless. I mean, they've got to take their chances when they can, haven't they?
Yeah.
While her parents are busy, because they're at the party, aren't they? But I think
they go everywhere with her. Yeah.
They've given them the slip.
And that's where we're going to take a little break. After all that excitement of the party, all the tension between Rupert and Melise. But before we go...
Uh-oh.
The ravishing quote quiz! Okay, so I've gone a little bit different this time. So instead of guessing the context, I want you to finish the quote.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Okay.
Because you're doing too well, frankly.
I will not get this.
So Billy is talking to the other show jumpers about one of the show jumpers, and he's a very stupid Yorkshireman called Ivor Brain. So here's the quote, okay? He was popping out to the shops, and I asked him to get me a packet of Rothmans, which is cigarettes. I said, if you can't get Rothmans, get me anything. And he comes back with...
I know this.
Oh.
And I'll tell you why I know this, because I'd already picked this out as a section,
bugger.
A section that I love.
Oh.
But I can't.
Yeah, well, don't look. No cheating.
Oh, yeah.
No, she's just cheated.
No, because I'd
cheated.
actually made a note of this because it made me laugh.
Oh,
so he told him, get me some Rothmans, and if you can't get those, just get me anything. And he came back with a pork pie. I'm sorry. Oh, dear.
It's just so good, though, isn't
Jilly's
it?
Brilliant.
I'm going to have to start picking boring quotes.
Yeah.
So that you don't guess them. Well, we were supposed to do the reveal after the break. Now we've given people no reason to carry on listening.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So,
I failed.
I'm going to put you on the spot here. Give the listeners a reason to keep listening after the break.
Oh, no. What would be the reason? Well, we're going to find out.
Oh.
Melise has taken Helen home.
Mm-hmm.
What do they get up to?
Oh.
On that long drive back to London.
Intriguing.
Phew, did I save that one?
Yeah. We'll be back after this break. Welcome back, everybody. Now, we were going to do the reveal for the quote quiz, but Mum's already done it.
Oh dear, sorry.
So, your teaser, Mum.
Yes.
What happens when Melise takes Helen home? So, they're in the car on the way back to London, and he tells us something important. He says, look, Rupert hasn't lost interest in you. Far from it. He has never been rejected before, and he doesn't want to start now. And maybe she should try playing him at his own game.
I'm not sure she's clever enough. Oh, I'm mean. I didn't mean that.
So she definitely needs to understand how his brain works, and maybe she can use this to her advantage. And Melise also suggests to her that the one thing that might save Rupert is a good marriage to a remarkable girl. And Helen thinks, that's me. Is it her?
No. Well,
you'll have to wait and see. Thinking about his motivations behind why he would tell her that. What are we thinking? Because I'm thinking, he wants Helen to straighten Rupert out, so he wants to kind of help her to be that person who can straighten him out, or because he thinks that she's a nice girl and he just wants to help her because he likes her, or is he maybe trying to win her favour in some kind of way, either for his own benefit with her, or to have a better relationship with her so he can use her
to influence Rupert
and make him easier to deal with. What are we thinking?
I'm not sure he exactly knows why himself at the minute. I mean, he's definitely attracted to her. But he actually says to himself that he must be too old, and she probably thinks that he's a disgusting old man.
Yeah.
So he's obviously thought along those lines and dismissed it. But then he also thinks that she'd be perfect for his son.
Yes.
So, I mean, I think he definitely likes her, and I think he can see how she might be a good influence on Rupert with some, tips from him.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that he knows he wants to help her, but he's not sure why. But then I'm also thinking he's not the kind of person who would do something and not be sure why he was doing it. He's very clever and he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Not malicious, but
I think he definitely enjoys that Rupert's getting the runaround from her.
Yeah.
And that for once Rupert isn't finding it easy. It's difficult, isn't it? Because he's going through his own issues with his wife. And
I was going to say, he is married at this point.
He is, but they don't really share a life together, do they?
They're about to separate, apart. I think.
So I think he's probably slightly confused about his own feelings as far as Helen's concerned, and kind of said, no. But I don't think he's fully formed his views. I think he's beginning to think, well, actually, this could work to my advantage here. But I don't think he's been completely calculated about it at this point.
Right, so he's dropped Helen off at home, and when she gets in, she hears the phone ringing. So she goes to answer it because it's late at night, and the other women who are living there are like, turn that phone off. And who's on the other end of the phone?
Rupert.
And he's drunk and frustrated, maybe even feeling a little bit sheepish.
Yep.
And he's kind of not grovelling, but he wants to make it up. He wants to make things right after the way that he left things. And just like that, reconciled straight away. The arguments, the tension at the party, it never even happened. And he promises, he says, I've got a busy week, but I'll call you at the end of the week. And already, they met on the Saturday. They had their first date on the Sunday. This is the following weekend. So, I don't know, Saturday night?
Yes, probably, yep.
Saturday night. And look at the ups and downs that we've had in this relationship in 1 week. It's crazy.
It's not off to the best of starts, is it?
Yeah, and they're clearly obsessed with each other in some weird kind of way.
Or is it that Rupert's obsessed by the fact that she's strong-willed and not falling into his arms like all the other women?
Whatever it is that she's done, she's kind of...
Well, it's working.
She's caught his attention, and she's holding his attention, which I guess is the hard thing to do, isn't it? So, in the weeks that follow, Gilly describes Rupert's courting of Helen as him laying siege to her. And in my notes I just wrote, healthy, ... It's not great, is it?
No, but you can kind of, I can see what she means by that.
Yes, he's got an aggressive approach.
Yeah.
He wants to make sure she doesn't have a chance to forget about him.
Yeah.
And she's torn because he represents everything that she disapproves of. He's reckless, he's not just not intellectual, he's anti-intellectual. And she also feels that he's had a difficult childhood and he just needs saving.
So she's got that sympathy element.
Yeah, and he's not a bad person, he's just damaged and I can fix him. What do we think about this? I mean, we've talked about it before and it just seems to be getting worse, really.
Yeah, I mean, yes, she obviously finds him really attractive. Everybody finds him really attractive. But even if she were to save him as such, he's still the polar opposite of her.
Yeah.
And there's only so much you can change of a person.
And I don't get that as well. It's like, I'm with him because maybe I could change him. That's not really fair though, is it? Because what if you change him and then you don't like him anymore?
Yeah, exactly. No.
It's that thing, have you seen the Gogglebox clip? It's like, we all love a bad boy, don't we? And they're watching, I can't know, Homeland, is it? The one about the...
Oh, I've not watched that.
He's like, we all love a bad boy. And the one's, but not terrorist.
Yeah. Yeah, there's limits.
There's limits. But I never understood the whole bad boy thing, because meeting someone and thinking, I think I like who I could turn them into. It's like, no, just find somebody that's already how you want them.
Yeah, that's in real life, isn't it? But I mean, in books, I mean, look at Grease, for instance.
Grease. Oh,
yeah. I mean, he's the bad boy, and she changes him,
She
and it's
changes
all
him.
Things like that happen in books and movies, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
In real life, it's a recipe for disaster.
And is Jilly going to do this trope, this reformed bad boy trope?
Oh,
she's not that kind of girl.
No,
she's
she
not
isn't.
that kind of writer.
No, she's not.
So Helen is also reading the papers at the time, so she's thinking about Rupert. She's like, oh, I don't know, is he this, but he's that. And she's reading the papers at the time, and Princess Anne has just announced her engagement to what's called
Captain Mark Phillips.
Captain Mark Phillips, and every girl in England is in love with her dashing fiance, the dashing prince to be.
I wasn't.
Oh, really?
No.
So there's a big romantic fantasy happening, real one, in England at the time, and Helen thinks, I want mine as well. She's getting hers. Why can't I have mine? Why can't I have the romantic hero that I've dreamed of? Princess Anne's getting it. I want it. Is Helen too wrapped up in these romantic notions?
Yeah, I think she is.
Yeah.
She thinks she can change him. She thinks Rupert is still young and he can learn to love literature, for heaven's sake. I mean, there's changing somebody and there's being absolutely, delusional.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, yes, she's too swept up in her romantic ideas at the minute.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And she's not really living in reality,
no.
Is she, with him? So while this is all going on in England, Rupert's away in Paris and he's trying to read War and Peace. Have you ever read War and Peace?
I started.
Did you? Yeah. I've got absolutely no interest. And he's finding it very confusing. And Billy comes in and says, it might help if you started with volume 1 rather than volume 2. So Rupert's response is he just throws the book in the river. He's like, well...
And when I read that, all I could think of was, but that was a library book that Marion had got out of the library for him, and he's thrown it in the river.
Rupert don't care. He don't care about returning library books.
No, he doesn't.
Instead of trying to impress her by having read War and Peace, because that'll do it, he decides to write her a romantic letter in response to her 10-page emotional essay that she'd sent him. He's like, yep, I'm going to write her something back. And he gets out his book of quotations. He copies one down, signs his name, job done.
Job done.
He could fit it on a business card. This is not a meeting of equals.
I mean, it's funny that he thinks he can finally get her into bed by doing something like this, and then he can forget about her.
Yeah.
And she, meanwhile, is thinking how she can change him.
Yeah.
I mean, who is the more delusional in that?
I mean, do you know what? You make a very good point. Because he thinks that it's just going to be get her into bed.
Yep.
She's out my head, move on. But, they're both as wrong as each other, aren't they, really? And that night, after the show that he's competing in Paris, he sneaks out with a Tatler reporter, takes her out for a night on the tiles, and the next morning Melise catches him leaving her bedroom.
Obviously.
Rupert rides very badly. Randy Rupert. He rides very badly the next day because he's hungover, he's been out all night, and Melise gives him a big dressing down and kicks him off the British team. He says, look, I told you to get an early night, you've got to keep a clear head when you're competing, and you couldn't do it. That's it. I'm going to teach you a lesson. You're off the team.
Yep.
And it's the first real consequence that Rupert has had to face, probably ever. And he's not happy about it at all. And if he can't win in the show jumping arena, he's going to try and win elsewhere in his life. And also maybe in the process try and repair his damaged pride a little bit. So he goes back to London and Helen is working away in the library. And Rupert appears while Helen's working away. And as you would expect, he ignores the library etiquette of keeping your voice lowered all the time. What does that make you think of?
It's that Dom Jolly.
I'm in the library.
I love it. Because his phone goes off as well, doesn't he? So, your phone's not on silent. Oh, no, he's answered the phone really loudly. Oh, he's so funny.
But he doesn't even
realise.
And
he doesn't know.
He doesn't know what he's doing. Oh, it is funny. And Rupert and Helen, they're like two young lovers and they're so sweet and she's so happy to see him and he's happy to see her. And it all seems very romantic for a minute, doesn't it?
Well, they're in her world as well now.
Well, yeah. And then they go out for lunch, a drink or something, I can't remember. And he tells her what happened in
Lucerne
in France, and that he's been kicked off the team, and she, instead of, I think what he was expecting was, oh, you poor thing,
poor baby.
He should never have done that. That's not the reaction that he gets. Helen actually gives him a lecture. She's very disappointed in his behaviour, and she gives him a lecture.
Yeah, but quite interestingly, what her lecture involves is mainly saying, Melise says this, and Melise and I this, and we only want what's best for you. Well, that...
She couldn't have said anything worse, could
no,
she?
No.
I mean, if she'd said, I'm disappointed in you, that would have been one thing, but Melise and I are very disappointed in you.
And bless her, she's trying to take on what Melise is saying.
Yeah, but she's just not got it right, has she? She is trying to take this advice on board, but she just doesn't quite get it, and it's a bit of a shame. And Rupert obviously doesn't take it well at all, and they have another argument, and he storms out.
Obviously.
And when he gets home, the horse, Macaulay, that he named after Helen, has gone back to its original name.
He's just like a petulant child,
he
isn't he?
Well, I'm not naming my horse after you anymore.
Gone.
Is this the end? Is this the end? I mean, that felt pretty final. Is this the end for Rupert and Helen? They've had disagreements, but this is very personal for him. Like this, she's hit a nerve.
She has, but he's gone off the handle, hasn't he? He's spat his dummy out and he's stormed off. But I think if it had happened in a kind of a more measured way, maybe I could say, oh, that's it, they've blown it. But because it was such a petulant reaction, there's still hope.
Do you think there's a little bit of hope?
Yeah, I think so.
So Rupert stormed off. He's like, I'm done with Helen. I want nothing more to do with her. He's on a bit of a warpath. And he goes to the next show, which is at Plymouth. And he kind of, last minute, decided to go there because he's not in France anymore.
Yeah.
And he's determined to kind of self-destruct. He's on a mad one. He makes a play for a married woman at the show. And the whole thing, and it's completely farcical, and we won't get into it because we simply don't have the time. The whole thing escalates to a point that is just so ridiculous. It ends in a whiskey-fueled fist fight with the horticultural king of Plymouth over some stolen roses.
Well, these flower shows are very, very important.
This is a serious business. And that escalates into a full-scale food fight.
Oh, I hate food fights.
The mess. You're just thinking about the clean-up.
And if a programme comes on TV and I have to fast-forward it, I just can't watch it. It's too messy.
You wouldn't have a food fight?
No.
What about like a non-messy food?
No.
Like, do you know Clarkson's Farm when Caleb's talking about potato fights? You wouldn't have a potato fight.
You see, part of me thinks, oh yeah, maybe I could throw a bread roll at somebody, but I love bread too much. Why would I waste it?
You could eat it after.
No, food fight's over me.
So, full-scale food fight involving, and this is a messy one by all accounts, a black forest gatto, sponge cakes, parsnips, not very messy.
No, but could hurt.
Yeah, and they didn't throw any, but they were involved British show jumpers, and eventually...
Well, they all weighed in, didn't they?
Yeah, that everyone pours in and starts throwing food, and then eventually the police are involved, and the final kind of note of the fight that stops the whole thing is Rupert throws a fruitcake at a policeman's helmet and gets himself arrested.
But you know what is so funny? And this is how I just love Gilly. Even when Rupert's locked in a cell, he ends up playing poker with two of the policemen who are show jumping fans. I mean, he just sums Rupert up.
Yeah, it really does, doesn't it? I mean, he's got himself arrested, and that's what he's doing.
This is why you always want to be on Team Rupert.
Exactly, because you know that if you're on Team Rupert, you're going to win.
You'll be all right.
Yeah. So once the aftermath of the food fight has happened, he's been bailed out of jail, and he goes back to his caravan in the middle of the night. And who does he find waiting for him? Helen. Yeah. She couldn't stop thinking about him. She's back with her tail between her legs. She feels guilty for lecturing him. And she feels so empty after the loss of him. He's not talking to her anymore. And she just feels lost without him, even though it's been such a short amount of time. And just like that,
intense.
Between the two of them, everything is fine again. And in the heat of the moment, in this overwhelming, oh my gosh, she's come back, she does want me, Rupert proposes to her.
And proposes, rather, he doesn't shag her, he proposes.
No, he proposes to her. He could have, but he proposes instead. And what are we thinking here? Why on earth does he do that?
Maybe because he's a bit drunk.
Yeah.
Although he didn't regret it in the morning. When
No.
he remembered he'd asked, he didn't regret it. So why?
Is it because he realised he really cares about her? Is it to make him feel better, to kind of validate the whole thing that's just happened?
No, I don't think that's
You don't think
a
he's
Rupert
thinking
thing.
about
No, but
that?
maybe he really does think, because he's never ever had a relationship before, has he? He's
Well, yeah,
never.
it does constitute
You
a
know,
relationship.
he
between
has
them.
one night stands, or he sees other people more than once, but
Yeah.
they tend to be because they're married.
Long-term flings, but
yeah,
never
yeah.
relationships.
And so maybe he thinks, oh, this is
Yeah.
what real feelings are.
Yeah, and he's just completely overwhelmed by them, and yeah, he proposes, and in the cold light of day, he still wants to marry her.
Doesn't regret
Because
it.
she, in the morning, she's like, "Oh, do you remember that thing that you said last night? Like,
Yep.
are you still sure?" And he's like, "Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah." And after all of that, if you could even remember the fact that he got arrested, so he has to go to court, and his lawyer spins the whole thing into just a lover's tiff that's ended in this heartwarming, happy ending of the two of them being engaged.
Fianced.
Yeah, fianced.
Fianced.
Is that a word?
It's my word.
And that's that. No consequences. The judge is like, "Oh, isn't that sweet? Oh, young love." Let him off scot-free. And there's no consequences for Rupert at all.
Yeah, don't get...
Apart from he's marrying Helen.
Well, yeah, don't get yourself into this little bubble, because don't forget, outside the court, he bumps into Laura, this married woman, who congratulated Rupert on being engaged. And he asked if she'll sleep with him again as a wedding present. So, you know, maybe Rupert's still in there
not
somewhere.
reformed, is he?
Yeah.
So, if you can believe it, all of that, I mean, we're on episode 5. That was the setup
Yes.
for the story. That was actually meet the characters, here's the background information. And now, in the next episode, stay tuned, because that's when we get into the real meat of this story. We've met the main characters, we've done the setup, now the real story's going to start. Can you handle it?
I love it.
So, that's what we've got all to come. But before we go,
Uh-oh.
your favourite game, Rupert or not Rupert?
Okay, hit me.
Yeah, hit me.
Don't shout at me if I get it right. Or should I deliberately get it wrong?
Well, no, you can't do that. It
Okay.
ruins the integrity of the game.
Okay.
Okay, so, same situation, 2 quotes.
Yep.
One real, one fake. Okay, this is Rupert complaining about, he's reading poetry to try and impress Helen, and he's complaining about the flowery language that they use.
Yep.
So which one's real, which one's made up? Heart of gold. Gold's terribly heavy, poor girl. Christ, these poets do talk rubbish. Next one. Hyacinth hair. Hyacinths are pink and blue, not hair-coloured. Christ, these poets get away with murder.
You see? Both are Rupert.
I know.
So one is gold and gold's heavy heart, and one is hyacinth and blue hair.
What are you thinking?
I'm going to go gold.
You think gold?
Yep.
I got you! That's the fake one!
Oh, no! No!
Now, were you pretending?
No! No, I wasn't pretending.
Did I actually get you?
You did!
I got you!
100%
Yes.
got me then. Yeah, because, I mean, they could both be him, because it ends the same way.
That's the point.
Christ, yeah, exactly.
Took me
you got
a
me.
long time, that one.
Well, I'm very impressed.
This is the start of my winning streak now.
And my downfall.
Yes.
Yep, that's it.
So that's everything for today. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please tell your friends. And if you're feeling particularly generous, give us a rating or leave us a review. It really does help. If you didn't enjoy, please keep it to yourself. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at The Ravishing Podcast for updates and extra bits and anything else that we might post. And make sure you turn on notifications so you never miss an episode.
And if you have strong opinions, and we know you do, we'd absolutely love to hear them. Favourite characters, who you imagine when you're reading them. Send us pictures, send us anything you want, your best bits, your worst bits in the book, anything you want to share that we can have a good chat about. You can message us on socials or email us at theravishingpodcast@gmail.com with all your ruptured deliciousness. So that's all from us, and see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.